ladies, today I'm going to be doing a duck tip using a nail form. I put it on the way that I showed y'all before, where you just pinch the sides. And let's get started. So I've already lined up my form. It's pretty straight and true. And it's got a nice flare on it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to build my nail bed. Just pick up a bead, drain the liquid out of the back. Try off your brush. There we go. Alright, there we go. I got the nail bed. Now I'm going to start building the tips. Now I am going to look at my guidelines. And I am going to make it a long tip, and I'm going to put that nice little C-curve onto the tip. Now the mix that I'm using is just some ones that I had in that container up there, the ones that I've already mixed. So, and this one is the one that I showed y'all. That is my go-to pink. And that's it right there. And yes, I totally hurt a nail, so I'm leaving it off for a little while, so y'all just have to excuse that. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit. I'm just going to slowly start building this tip. Make sure you get all the liquid out of your brush when you're working with this. So I'm just shaping the sides, pushing up my side walls, of course not pushing them up straight. So you're starting to see this tip start to form. Now, of course, it's a lot different doing it with a form than it is like using an actual tip. Now I'm going to pick up another color and kind of lay it in there. So I'm just going to be picking up different colors and working with them. I'm going to do this one fairly long. Now really dry off your brush. See how it runs? Especially on this form, it's cold in this room, so it's trying to take off on me. I have my little heater going, but we had a cold front blow in, and I mean, it made it cold. Well, not cold, I guess, but cold enough for me. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going by the numbers on the side. See how my line's kind of going in between that 6 and that 7. I'm trying to do the same thing. Just get a reference point. And I'm going to kind of put this in there a little bit. You know, where I'm going to push up for my C. You know, not all of them have that shape, but I just figured that I'd make a really wide one with that C in it. So that's how it's looking so far. Put a little bit of purple in the middle of this one. My dogs are playing. It's nice and cool outside, so they feel good. Sorry, I'm not talking a whole lot. I need to talk more. So that's all I'm doing is I'm just building my shape. Really. And I went out really extreme with this one. Really went flared. There we go. And so I'm going to let that sit up for a minute until I see it up close. And I'm going to add a few little decorations to it, so and then we'll encapsulate it. So I'll be right back. I'm back real quick because I wanted to show y'all. This hasn't quite set up very much, but what I'm doing is I'm letting it set up, and I'm actually pinching the sides of my form. I'm not actually touching my acrylic, but I'm going to pinch the sides of my form to make it more curved, because I don't actually have to use the pinching tool because it's such a wide form. There's plenty of room for me to get my hands on. So I'm going to pinch it like this while it starts to heat up and harden. And then I'll get out my decorations and I'll be back. Okay, here we go. And I've gotten out these two little music notes. And they are colored. It's a pink one and a blue one. And because they're metallic, I'm just going to assume that they're going to bleed. So I'm going to treat them like they're going to bleed. Now I did pinch this, and you see how it's got that nice curve in it? And that's what we want. So I'm going to have to grab a little bit more monomer. I just realized that I should have done it before I turned my camera back on. There we go. Alright. So I've got my clear out now. And like I said, I'm going to treat these like if they're going to bleed. So the first thing I'm going to do is dip in, wipe off the back of my brush, and I'm just going to pick up just a little bit of acrylic, just a really thin watery bead, and kind of place it on there. And then with the back of my brush, because I don't want to use the tip because I know these are going to bleed, I'm going to pick up my music notes. Now which way do music notes go? I think they go that way. Well, yeah. That's way, right? I think so. So I'm just kind of placing them where I think I want them. I just thought the music notes would look really cute on there. Okay. Stick up a little bit, but nothing I don't think we can't handle. So if you want to stick up any, you want to stick up right through the center, because the center is where you're going to have to take into account for that stress point. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover these music notes. So I'm going to pick up a good sized bead. I mean, that's a big bead. And I'm going to drain any excess liquid out the back of my brush. Okay. And then place it directly on there and pat. Do not drag your brush across these, because that's what makes the color wipe off. So you pat. And anytime you have something that's going to bleed, you need to pat your product on, not drag your brush down it. And we know that most items that are like a metallic finish, we know everybody knows that the majority of the time they bleed and they need to be treated like they're going to. That way the last thing you want to do is be doing your design and you go to put something on and it bleeds and you weren't ready for it, or weren't expecting it at least. So you can see it's not real thick or anything. And you can also see that they didn't bleed. I got a little bit of the point of that one that bled, just a smidgen, but nothing that is too overly bad. I've picked up another bead, and it's a wetter bead, and I'm just going to use that to blend, feathering it out towards the tip. So I've got all the nail encapsulated except for my corners. So again, wipe the back off. What's the matter, Duke? He's whining. I'm going to put it here on the corner. And I'm going to feather back like so. Sorry about that. I had to let Duke out. He had to go. Now I'm just going to pick up a bead. I'm going to do this other corner, placing the bead, and I kind of pat and drag it into place, and then feather it into the rest of the nail, because you don't want it to be real thick or anything. Then the last step is I just need to put it right here on this tip. Really wipe your brush off. Then feather it back. Just like that. I'm happy with that shape. Okay, I'm going to let this harden and we'll be back. Okay, so it's ready. I'm just going to pop it free. There we go. Just going to do a little bit of freehand filing. And then on this edge right here, you actually have to use the drill on that in order to get that shape in. Actually not thick, very thick at all, so. Anyways, I'm going to keep putting some shape into it. I'll go ahead and get out my drill. Put that down. Now right here on this C, I'm just kind of looking at it. just like that. And then I'm just going to finish filing it, and I'm going to buff it, and then I'll be back. Okay, ladies, I got it filed and buffed. Now I'm just going to apply my top coat. Now I did a really extreme flare tip. You of course don't have to do it this extreme, but I just wanted to show one way to do it. And of course, if you don't like the C curve, because not everybody does, it's in the tip of this nail, like that. If you don't like that, of course, you can leave that off and just go straight across. But I haven't seen a whole lot of tutorials that show how to get that curve in there, especially not on a form. So I decided to do that. I'm going to let that cure and I'll be back. And here we go. It's completely dry. And as you can see, let's see if I can get to focus. Our music notes did not bleed. You can still tell that they are pink and blue. And I guess that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial and found it useful. And as always, thanks for watching. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.